What is happening with the Diddy trial, I wonder? Judge Arun seemed to be resisting their attempts to maneuver in and out of the courtroom. For those of you who are unaware, Judge Arun recently made an unexpected announcement and issued a notice that left many people perplexed. However, after speaking with my pals that study legal analysis, we have a breakdown. Let's get started though. People are claiming that D is sending a message to Diddy's team about not trying this after Judge Arun discussed the jury. Judge Arun appears to be closing all of the legal avenues for Diddy to escape, unless Trump ends up partying with him, and it doesn't appear that Trump will pardon him. All right, what was the order then? On the 22nd, he dated this. He stated, "The court mandated that the jury in this case be kept partially secluded and nameless to the public. In addition, the court instructed the court clerk to arrange for the impaneled jurors transportation from the courtroom located at 500 Pearl Street following the end of jury deliberations. This order serves as a reminder of that directive and is a court order that is pro-tunc. It was really well organized. It's fantastic for our team and demonstrates that this sitting will not go as Diddy believes." But why is this so terrible for Diddy's team, you guys? Give me a moment to listen. There is a lot to truly look at, so let's get started. Hold on for a moment. All right, so for those of you who are wondering why in the world Judge Arun would give this order at this very moment, here it is. Because Judge Arun is reportedly limiting the appeal loopholes according to legal experts. They claim that Diddy's team would contend that the jury's tainted judgment should be overturned, under duress, or not appropriately managed. Let me just say this now, will I? In my heart, I think that the jury members on Diddy's trial exonerated him due to his fame, since there is no other explanation. Well, in my opinion, did he get away with RICO even if they didn't? I believe he got away with trafficking SMEX. Based on his evidence, they found him guilty on 2 counts of the Mail Act. And I'm talking about Diddy and his supporters in this way. You do not wish to be held responsible for their actions, because even if the jury slapped you on the wrist, you are now claiming that the jury was somehow contaminated under duress or treated inappropriately. That is, that the judgment should be overturned. Judge Arun, by the way, stated that they have until September 3rd, after which he doesn't want to hear any more about this nonsense. You had best count your days, Diddy. Additionally, they stated that if the record appears sloppy, for instance, if sequestering or anonymization weren't explicitly ordered, the defense may argue that the jury's impartiality was compromised and that a new trial is necessary. What is this news? This muck? Neck we single quotes LL call it a neck of your buck order since it fills in that gap retrospectively by claiming that we ordered all the required safeguards. They were there, and I'm only now putting it in writing. Thus, it is essentially retroactive. All of these procedures were followed, and now I'm putting it on the record. Even if it says I did this without properly doing so, what is your issue? Then there is no basis for an appeal. Do you get now? Furthermore, let's face it, Clayton Howard, whatever his name is, and the genuine escorts themselves attested to this. He appeared to be in need of Nivea, lotion, chapstick, and Dove body wash all at once. He was the one who truly said that he authored a book, that he was writing a book, that he was involved with it. What transpired, how the slaps operate, and how he got recruited. Many individuals acknowledged that he enjoyed using prostitutes. It's not my responsibility if people believe it to be lawful in any case, correct? They further claim that even after the verdict, the court is taking these steps to safeguard the jurors. They said that one of the most influential and infamous people in music had just been found guilty by these jurors. Among them, one would have been Strong. They could experience threats, stalking, or harassment even after being released. Who is threatening, harassing, or stalking the jurors? You must quit if you are, by commemorating transportation, acknowledging that they really used it, and, well, ensuring the jurors' anonymity. In carrying out the court's duty of care, the judges ensure that the jurors cannot subsequently state we were left exposed and unprotected after the verdict. That is crucial in the event that jurors are drawn into appeals or media attention. Judge Arun, please come through and provide protection. There's more though. There are potential angles now. When Diddy's attorneys move for a new trial under Rule 33, they'll probably claim jury misbehavior or prejudice. Now, let's discuss the potential allegations that Diddy's team is attempting to utilize to get the jury verdict overturned or a new trial held. Do I hold them accountable for their efforts? No. Take a look at what the stupid jury did to Mark Agnello, who was compensated for discussing a contemporary love tale. Cassie was a crazy young woman. Pollution of the media. They might contend that jurors were unable to adequately consider because they were subjected to constant media attention. By stating that they were protected, anonymous, and partially secluded, the judge has essentially undermined all of that. They're also attempting to make the case for fear and corrosion. The defense may argue that the jurors' guilty judgment was affected by their fear of reprisals, security measures, or publicity. These safeguards are now reframed as supporting rather than coercive by this directive. They might also claim that the court handled the case improperly. The defense would contend that jurors weren't legally sequestered if they could demonstrate that the court didn't make a formal order at the appropriate time. Nevertheless, this judge's recent ruling, which once more just formalized an already occurring event, removes that off the table by making the safeguards official as though they had always been. What, therefore, is the main conclusion or lesson from each legal analysis I've heard? Indeed, the jury was freed, following the verdict on July 3rd or 4th, whatever the case may have been. All right, so this doesn't imply that the jurors are still being shielded in any way. But the goal of this late August directive is to shield the decision from criticism. The court is aware that Diddy's team will attempt to take advantage of any procedural error involving the jurors. He is now returning to file the record. Judge Arun is stating in simple English, Diddy, don't even try it. This jury was kept safe the entire time, and I have now solidly documented it. Listen, everyone, what are your thoughts on this? Okay? Remember that if you buck, it's a pro, whatever that means. I'm not fluent in Latin. If I had taken it in high school, you guys could. But I'm not interested. Correct. Backdating is what that is. All right. Once more, the court is reiterating safeguards that existed before the discussions but had not been properly documented. The judge locks down the record for appeals by using this term. Therefore, Diddy's team cannot claim that jurors were not legally protected. Instead, it is ensuring that jurors remain legally and logistically covered until the matter is resolved. What are your thoughts on this, guys? I am aware that Diddy believed he would receive that pardon. It doesn't appear to be approaching. They're struggling to make ends meet. They're doing everything. Do I hold them accountable? No, because they are selling their souls for millions of dollars. Correct? Once more, if you consider it to be only a football match, who won? Oh, we may say whatever we want rather than exposing the public to someone I think is hazardous. However, it appears that Judge Arun is becoming more rigid. Diddy is also keenly examining Drew Dixon's case against L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid is now going on the defensive and claiming he lacks the funds to compensate his attorneys. As of right now, many are saying that. But what if Judge Arun does grant him a considerable length of time? Oh my God, I don't have any money, so I can't even pay any of these civil cases. Diddy will attempt to explain, pulling a la Ree. Additionally, don't waste your time if you're searching for a civil lawsuit. This place has no money. The only issue with that is that I don't believe L.A. Reid will find it effective. Diddy won't be able to handle it, in my opinion. Now, why don't I believe that L.A. Reid will benefit from this? Yes, for several reasons. L.A. Reid is dead to rights with Drew Dixon's. Everyone wanted to know what it was like to be in charge of an Industry truly running things, getting hounded, and then doing the right thing and leaving. In reality, Drew Dixon did just that. She left, but she still wants to be paid for the harassment and commissions. What are commissions on? He couldn't get his way with her, so she purchased L.A. Reid, Kanye West, and John Legend to be a dick to her. He was saying, no, I will pass. She demands payment for commissions that were lost. All right? Returning to Drew Dixon and the L.A. Reid issue, however, L.A. Reid claims to be broke. Virginia Guy's attorney is Drew Dixon's attorney. Yes, Virginia Guy received the Jeffrey Epstein-stated Maxwell settlement. This EEV proof involving Drew Dixon is really tight. Once more, pay close attention to everything. Naturally, tomorrow morning we will go live to discuss Diddy. Tonight, I'm going to try to go talk about Raven Simone. She has been behaving inappropriately on Instagram. Returning to my original point though, yes, I see. I'm not sure. I don't believe Diddy and all of his followers will get the punishment they deserve. They claim that one of his most ardent fans is currently incarcerated. Let's also watch how things turn out when their monarch arrives. What are your thoughts on the judge retroactively safeguarding the record? Once more, it appears like Diddy will actually receive justice from Judge Arun. How many years is the only question? Because they are proposing far more than the 4 to 5 first years, according to the prosecution. Once more, Judge Arun stated that a new trial should be submitted by September 3rd for any matters pertaining to the appeal or overturning the appeal or the verdict. Additionally, he stops taking into account anything that arrives after September 3rd. In any case, we'll see what occurs, you guys. Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'll speak with you all later. Goodbye.